Hey.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Too Many Opinions Podcast.
This is Jeannie.
This is Sarah. And we're keeping this in because this is the kind of night we have had so far. Happy New Year. Again, fuckers. Where's the face with the crying underneath? That's really us right now.
Guys, it's crazy when you run your own production. It's just crazy. But we're here.
It's okay. We're going to have our own production team soon enough. Anything you want to spill? Anything you want to talk about? Because, life is crazy.
I wish you guys knew that my feet were real ashy under this table.
And,
yeah. Also, I want to start off with the Patreon page. Pull up that number, Sarah.
Call us at 401-648-6929 if you want the real hot tea, hot piping advice. Call us. Don't be a peeping Tom, though.
Honest.
Nah, I'm tired of this shit. This
Don't
is what they get
peep if you're not paying.
Unless you subscribe to them, $5. For $5, you can tune into our page.
Yes, guys. So every week we are taking a few questions and we're reading it on our Patreon page and we're giving women advice. So please leave us a text message, voicemail, whatever you want to call us, whatever you want to do that.
Amen. Let's get into it.
By the way, the stories have been crazy.
Crazy ass stories, guys.
The stories have been crazy, and maybe you don't want to leave us your story, but maybe your story is someone else's story, and they already talked about it, and you might just want that advice. So
let's get it.
Please let us know. Okay.
Let's get into it. So the topic for today is the healing journey.
Wow.
So this is a good one because I feel like most women can definitely relate to this topic in the sense of we've all been there and we've all had some sort of heartbreak before. Mm-hmm. And I feel like heartbreak can come in all forms, shapes and sizes. And I also think the partner that you're with has like a not that it has an expiration date, but it's different. Like your first love heartbreak is different than your next relationship heartbreak, and it's different than the person you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with. Like they're all different in my opinion.
Yeah, they're all different. They all hurt in their different ways, but they all with the more you have, the more kind of experience you have, which in a way, yeah, but then it's so different because my first heartbreak is not the same as my third heartbreak.
I know.
I feel like if anything, now that I'm thinking about it, they've gotten more painful.
100%, because you feel like you've learned from what you've done in the past, and you're like, oh, that won't happen to me again, and then it's like something different happens that causes the breakup. So it's like, how
do you navigate that?
Like, how did we get here at this point? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I think for my heartbreak, my most recent one, I was married and I got divorced. And
sheesh, if you want to hear more about that, go to Patreon,
because that piping hot tea is coming real soon.
You're
gonna find out all the tea, ladies and gents, and you're gonna be prepared.
Listen to me. Just as shocked as you guys are is shocked as I am. I'm over here like
she's really going there. That is what we're going through today. So
do you want to let me ask you this: what was your healing stages like with your divorce?
Girl, that was the hardest thing that I think I've ever gone through. And I think it started really with that grieving process that we talked about in the last episode, where it's like I grieved my marriage, not only during the marriage, but while the divorce was going on. And
I want to stop you real quick. Did you guys hear what she just said? She grieved the marriage not only when it ended, but during.
Yeah, I was, because I would look back and I'd be like, wow, this isn't what it was at one point. And if you guys really want the tea, go to our Patreon, because there will be a full episode where we talk about it and we really get into it, because I've waited a long time to really speak my truth, and I want to share that with you guys, but I really want to share it with the people who are close and want to be involved and close to us.
Absolutely. But regardless, the whole during, I just kind of want to stop real quick. It's so sad how we grieve while we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that.
Yeah, of course, especially, I mean, I didn't think I was then, but it's like you see your partner changing before your eyes, and you see the differences in how it used to be and what it is now. And it's like, that's where the begging came from. And that's where all those things had started to really come to light. So it's like, wow. And I think because of that grieving that I did, it was crying for 6-8 months. Maybe more. Every day I would cry. And I have a child he was a newborn baby. And at that time, and I would be in the shower crying. I called Jeannie crying. I look a hot mess. My eyes were constantly swollen. I was devastated.
So this happened to you while you just had a baby?
Yeah. So it was absolutely crazy. And I think that healing process of grieving was the hardest part of it.
Do you think it was harder because you had a baby? Or do you think you would have been just as devastated if there was no baby involved?
So I think both.
Okay.
So both.
Two different ones. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I would have been just as devastated because when you get married, in my opinion, this was something, marriage to me is lifelong. It's not something that you just, give up on or, like, oh, we're getting divorced, no big deal, haha. Mm-hmm. That's not a game to me. People, oh, it's a piece of paper. That's not how I see marriage at all. Yeah. And because I had a child, I constantly had to put on my brave mommy face and make him seem like everything was, to him, that everything was okay. Because I didn't want him to think back and always see mommy crying, So it was like a constant thing of me being brave enough to put on that face. But then when I had those moments to myself, I would cry and cry and cry and cry. And I was like just devastated. So for me, that's the hardest part of healing. What about you? What would you say?
The hardest part of healing for me is getting used to that emptiness now. Especially when you've been in a relationship for so long. You're used to how they sleep. You're used to how they eat. It's crazy that you even have to start cooking for yourself. And you don't even know how to portion your food anymore.
No.
Like the things you have to unlearn. So I think the hardest part for me is the unlearning phase.
The unlearning phase is definitely
and the
tough.
Loneliness that you fucking feel.
Oh my God, bro, the loneliness.
When like everything you want to do is call them like, yo, guess what happened? Or guess what gossip I heard? Or guess what? You know what I'm saying? Like that loneliness and that period of like getting used to being alone and knowing how to do things around the house just for you is wild in the beginning.
Of course, no, because your whole life it's like your whole life was flipped upside down. You know what I mean? You're in like a tornado that you're going through and you don't know which way is up or you're looking up, down, sideways. You don't even know. And I feel like another hard part would be for me is when I was cooking, like for us, I would make stuff. This is going to sound ridiculous. I made stuff during that time that I know he loved because I missed him that much, even though he wasn't around. So that's like crazy excited. When I was going through it, it was like, oh, I just wanted to eat that. In reality, it's like, no, I didn't want to eat that, but I missed him.
So it's like a way of comforting for you.
So that's like really crazy.
And then it's a double-ended sword because then like, it's comforting you making that, but then it's heartbreaking that he ain't gonna eat it.
Yeah, he's not gonna, it's just gonna be me. And,
you know that it's crazy you say that because when I was going through my situation, I usually, when I cook and I do my sauces and stuff, I usually go up to him and be like, taste this. And I didn't have no one to, it's wild.
And it's like, I never even thought about how much that affected me. Or you guys probably see my eyes are all watery and it's okay because, this is still a part of the grieving process.
Yeah, it's a mind fuck.
But it's like, wow, holy shit. Those are the little things that you don't think of. Or like just folding clothes and just going down to just your clothes. It's like, how did I get here? I never expected that.
It feels like a death.
Literally a death. And I don't think people realize how hard it is on women when we go through breakups like that.
Right, because we're not men.
And I feel like have you ever seen that thing where they talk about women, how we grieve it like in the beginning and it's long term and we go through that really hard breakup and then
but their time comes.
Yeah. And then the men, it's like they're kind of unfazed at the beginning and it's whatever. And then 6 months, 8 months, a year down the road, that's when it really hits them.
Oh, when they see you with someone else thriving?
And it hits them, it's like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, it's kind of wordy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're past
I believe that the men that you end up finally leaving, they will grieve. I promise you they will grieve for you because just as much as we're used to everything about them, they're also used to everything about us, especially when you're a good woman and you treated them good.
Yeah.
Because then they get with the next the next situation, and it's never going to be the same. They go into the next situation thinking the grass is greener, but they go into that situation looking for you.
Yep. And
with a different body and a different look and a different ass and a different, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to find me though.
You're never going to get what we had from someone else.
Ever. You
might get another happy relationship or relationship. You might get that, but you'll never have what we had. And it just sucks because it's like, sometimes you think back, and I don't know if you, but I think back like, what happened? What happened? How did we get here?
To be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it a stack, I think what happens is that men get bored.
Ooh. You're probably
and the difference
right.
is that they get bored and they move on to the next new shiny toy. We get bored and we stick it out because you guys are boring too. No, for real. Let's be real. Because men forget, and I'm sorry that I'm yelling, but I get so passionate. Men forget that we're also humans, that we also get horny, that we also get attracted to by the next sex, that we also want something new and something, but because we love you, we stick it and thug it the fuck out. Yeah. They don't.
No, they're quick to just be like, okay, get the entertainment elsewhere.
And then they get the entertainment, got a taste of it, and then realize, oh shit, that shit wasn't that green to begin with. Right. And then you want to come crawling back. And we got nah, bro. Like, it's tiring. So frustrating.
It's very frustrating. And I don't think people understand the long-term effects of it either. Like, look at me. I'm how many years past and I was still just fucking teary-eyed about it. Like, bro, talking about it because it's like,
that was a marriage, though. That was a soul tie.
I know.
That's the father of your kid.
I know. And that shit still be having me in a chokehold sometimes. And it's been years.
Because the trauma that you went through.
And it was just so much. So it's like.
And so early on. Like, it's just. I feel like men just don't really. They don't think about anybody but themselves, yo.
And I don't think they understand either.
And they don't understand sacrifice. Or thugging it out. Fighting for it.
Right.
Yo, I'm bored. I'm me and my girl. Like, I'm kind of bored with this relationship. Let me talk to her. Let me see what we can do to fix this. If not, I will gracefully bow out.
Right.
Respectfully. We tried everything we could, but they don't try.
But I would feel like I would respect that more if we gracefully bowed out than how things just be fucking falling apart. Like, the house is on fire. Like, why does it got to be on fire? Why can't we just amicably agree, like, okay, this isn't working between us? Or
after trying, of course. But they don't try, though.
They have tried.
They have tried. I feel like they don't try. I feel like they cheat. Then you bag them, and then they try. Once you're already bruised and fucked up. And now they want us to operate like the girl that didn't get cheated on. Like if nothing ever happened, we just gotta get over it.
That's the key right there. They want us, no matter what we go through within the relationship, they want us to act like the original girl, woman that they met. Honey, that's too late for that.
It's like Sarah said. You crumbled that paper and you try straightening it out again. It's not going to happen.
And time
it's
and time
not going to happen. And if it's time and time again, it's even worse. You're going to meet a monster.
Literally. And then it's like, oh, you're begging me to be the old person. Like, I can't be that old person anymore. She's gone.
You're either going to meet a monster or you're going to meet an emotional wreck. And you're going to be like, oh, she's always crying. Or she's always like, bro, you took me. You got me here. Was I always crying when I first met you?
Right. No. And that's the other thing that they don't understand is that, and we're not just blaming men because obviously everybody has a part in when things don't work out, right?
Absolutely.
But we're talking about real life situations that women go through from a woman's perspective. And this is the reality of it. Men don't understand what it's like to just have to chalk it up and just figure it out and understand that the person that you thought you were going to be with forever ends up not being that person. And what do? You have to go through your healing process. So now that we talked about a little bit of what we've been through, and I didn't even expect to share any of this today, but it just felt right and humbling and honoring to share it with our sisters pretty much because this is what it is. I want to talk about the things that I did to help me get better. And I'd love for you to share your experiences too. I would say the number one thing that I focused on was a new project that made me happy. And that would be this podcast. It started, as you guys know, we started before, but this podcast has really been a time in my life that has helped me find my voice again and uplift and want to be able to help people. And then I found my love again for running. And running took me to a place of happiness that I really forgot that I ever had. And I think that started with loving myself again. When I really started to put the time and finding the time to make the sacrifice, make the time, get up early, stay late, go out after, find the time, made the time to dedicate the time to myself. That's when I really started to now physically, emotionally, mentally heal on top of therapy. Constant therapy. 2 sessions a week because I was fucking devastated. What about you?
I think what helped me in my situation was pouring back into myself. That means taking my vitamins because, like, you know, vitamins help you when your serotonin levels are down. Giving myself a break. If I wanted to eat something, a tub of fucking ice cream, I did.
Good for you.
But I think the number one thing that helped me the most was getting out of bed and dressing up and making myself feel pretty.
Yes, I love that one. Absolutely.
Because then you start putting yourself out there. You start noticing, yo, I ain't too bad looking. You know what I mean?
Damn, I look good.
You start taking pictures. You start noticing that you're losing weight. The heartbreak losing weight is amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it definitely be fucking.
It hurts and it sucks, but that shit takes your weight, right? And then like, you know, you start posting yourself. People start complimenting you, and you start kind of like
getting your mojo back.
Yeah, but I think also like having my crying sessions, screaming in my pillow, praying to God, looking on TikTok at other women being heartbroken and seeing their journey and the fact that they do get through it as time passes. I think that helped me tremendously. Going on YouTube, listening to like positive things and what to do after a breakup and just doing your research on what a breakup actually, that helped me tremendously.
And I'm not going to lie to you, at my lowest points in this like grieving process and the healing process, there were times where I called Jeannie like, I need to go to church today. And those times that I gone to church were times that I just felt so relieved. So even if you're not a churchgoer, put it to God, pray.
Oh my God.
Whoever your God is, pray to them. They will help guide you and show you where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I prayed to Jesus all the time, and that was my boy. He comforted me. I would beg him on my knees, like yelling, everything, boogers coming out and all, like, help me, because I felt like I was dying.
No, literally. When you said the not eating thing, I didn't eat a real meal for weeks.
Same. And then it's crazy because then you don't know if you're used to splitting bills with your partner, then what? Then you got to think, because it's not just a heartbreak, it's everything that comes with it. How am I going to do this now?
A one-man show, and you just got to figure it out.
And you will.
You definitely will.
You will. Maybe not right away, but you will.
And it's horrible. It is so horrible. It's such a gut-wrenching, punching feeling to just go into something and then just be completely left like, oh shit, like what?
Blindsided.
What am I gonna do? Blindsided, just like, oh, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? And I think it's so important to know that we're not alone, and there's people out there who have been through this, and we've all gotten through it. But it's so important to pour back into yourself. This is the main message. Find what it is that makes you happy. Pour into yourself and love yourself again to know your worth.
Absolutely. And speak to the friends that matter most, that are not going to judge you, that are going to be there for you, that have gone through it. And stay surrounded with happiness and with people. Don't be alone. Don't stay by yourself. I know there's periods that you need to face things by yourself, like at night when nobody else can be. But during the day or as much as you can, try to surround yourself with people. Yeah. Because being in the slumps and being deep down in the hole and not being able to like vent that can kill you.
Yeah. The depression is crazy. I can't even count the number of times that I took a hot shower at night in the complete dark. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but in the complete dark, just crying, like pretty much just on the floor with the fucking shower running on me, like feeling pathetic.
I know, heck yeah, I have. Like, and I want to reiterate something important too. Your life matters. Do not ever attempt anything dumb because of another person.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Shits and breathes and bleeds just like you. Nobody is worth that.
Amen. I'm so glad
I could have been, you could have fucking stabbed me a million times, and I'm sorry for swearing. But that's one thing I'm not gonna do. I know. My life. I'm gonna suffer right now. But I know there's millions of men that I haven't met yet.
I know millions of men, and not even that. But even if that wasn't, the men weren't even right. But there's a million other reasons that are gonna make you happy. Whether it's traveling, whether it's family, whether it's a job opportunity, whether
trying new foods, listening to new music. Imagine everything you're gonna miss out on.
Going to the park, putting your feet in the grass. Like those are all things that I missed. And it's like, pour into yourself, find what it is that makes you happy, and talk to somebody. If you can't answer the question, what makes you happy, it's time to sit and reflect and figure it out, because you need to make yourself happy.
Whether you're in a relationship or not.
Period.
And also do things. Another thing real quick before we close out that helped me was healing my inner childhood. When I would want to watch Halloween Town on Disney Channel, I felt like a child. I don't know, like you got to go back. When you're healing.
Yeah, the real roots, start from there, and then by the time you're done, you're going to feel so good. I feel like this is the best that I've ever felt in all.
And you look it.
Thank you.
You look it. You look fine. My girl's glued.
No, it's good. No, it's good. And No, it's good. But you too, girl.
Because she loves herself. That's
it. And that's it. That's all that matters.
I'm still here, but I'm loving myself more and more each motherfucking day. I promise you that. So.
And that's all that matters. And as long as you're trying and you're giving yourself 100%, that's really all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Keep trying. Until the next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.